Do any of you get distracted? Tea break. Distractions are the reason why we don't achieve as much as we should be able to in the time that we have. And despite our best intentions, almost all of us get distracted. As a solo entrepreneur, I work from home. And during the week when I'm by myself, it's really easy to turn on the TV or grab something else to eat or take the dogs for a walk or check my Facebook or Twitter or, surf the internet for a new sale, just to avoid doing stuff that I really find unappealing, like my taxes, or just stuff that I find overwhelming to do. Distractions are really just a nice way to say procrastination. Yeah, it's true. Even the best of us are subject to procrastination, but no one really likes to admit it. And I know I call my husband Mr. King Procrastinator, when really, if I was really honest with myself, I was no better than him, although his DIY jobs still lie undone at home. They do. So how do we actually remove these distractions and move past procrastination so that we can start to achieve more with the time that we have in our day? In essence, doubling what we can actually do with our time. Well, I have 2 tips to share with you today. The first thing to do is to acknowledge what your distractions are so that you can proactively manage them and, if possible, remove them during the time that you need to stay focused and productive. Now, I'm about to get really honest with you here and confess to you my biggest distractions, and I want no judgments. I'm a reality TV junkie. I love reality TV. It could be anything. Any episode of The Real Housewives. It could be anything to do with wedding dresses or planning a wedding or cooking competitions. Even those dog training programs. I'm there and I'm watching it, and it's completely removing me from everything else that I should be doing with my day. I find that with distractions and managing them, it's best not to go cold turkey. You want to give yourself permission to indulge in whatever it is that has you distracted, but for a very set period of time. So, using my example, I allow myself just one reality TV program a day. And I try to time it with my lunch break so that I feel I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. My second tip is to schedule things in like a meeting. Now, I mean going beyond just setting a diary reminder or putting a little alarm on your iPhone. You need to schedule things in like a meeting or they don't get done. Now, if you're anything like me, you've probably got a million things to juggle. The kids need picking up. You need to make dinner for the family. The laundry needs to go on. You've got to call Auntie Pearl and wish her a happy birthday. You've got to remember to dial in for that conference call. You've got to feed your son for the 3rd time in an hour, and you've got to make sure you're not running late for that meeting. All of these things add up, and they can actually cause a lot of chaos and a lot of overwhelm, which means we're not being entirely productive with the time that we have. So schedule what you need to do in your tasks like a meeting. You've got to really treat it like it's a proper meeting with a real individual, which means it starts at a certain time, it finishes at a certain time, you can't be late, and you have to make sure you're there. And when you're there, you're 100% there. Think about a meeting in an office. You wouldn't be having that meeting face-to-face with someone and at the same time on the phone having a conversation with someone else. So when you treat your tasks like a meeting, you find that you stay a lot more focused and your productivity increases. The other thing that scheduling it in like a meeting does is it forces you to start the actual task. And as you probably know, sometimes starting something is often the hardest part of the whole process. And the minute you actually start, everything else is a lot easier to do. So to recap, we all get distracted. Our distractions are often different to each other's. For example, yours might be just trying to keep up with everything that's going on in your day-to-day life, whereas mine, clearly, as you now know, is reality TV. Whatever your distractions are, it's important to manage them, acknowledge them, and you can't manage them without acknowledging them. And then to ensure that you schedule your tasks, whatever they might be, no matter how big or small, into your diary and treat it like a real meeting that you have to be there for. If you've enjoyed this video and think someone else might benefit from watching it, then post a link to it on your Facebook page or Twitter account, or simply email them a link to this video. But do it now before you get distracted. I'm just going to check my emails. Ooh, 25% off sale today. Better jump online for that one.